So it's 2011, and there I am uploading my first ever YouTube video. And yes, it is a video of my pet rock at the time. But back then, YouTube was a relatively new platform where you could upload virtually anything. A video of your cat, a family birthday party, or just you talking to the camera about your day, and people would watch it. Views were easy to come by, and creators didn't need to compete fiercely for attention. Back then, the advice of just be consistent, bro, actually worked. But fast forward to today, and standing out on YouTube is now harder than it's ever been. Think about it. Almost everyone and their moms are trying to be the next big YouTuber. If you were making YouTube videos back in 2011, most people just thought you had autism. But nowadays, being a YouTuber is considered cool. In fact, new research shows that YouTubers and influencers are the top dream careers for children. According to a study of 1,700 children aged 7 to 12, 27% of kids want to be YouTubers and 17% dream of being the next social media influencer, which is basically the same thing. And because of that, a massive flood of videos are uploaded to YouTube every single day. It's like everyone's making soy faces and shouting in a room, each trying to be louder than the other. But let's take it one step further. And now, let's throw AI into the mix. And these guys, they can pump out videos super fast, adding even more pollution to the noise. So, it's over. Just kidding. Here's a little secret. It's not the end of the world, not yet at least. Because today, I'll show you some neat tricks to set your channel apart from the rest of the competition. Now, you've probably heard the term unique value proposition thrown around in business and marketing. It's basically how you can make your offer different and better than everyone else. So let's think of your YouTube channel as a business. And this is super relevant, especially for those of you focusing on informational content. Since you most likely already run a business or are thinking of starting one, then the idea of the unique value proposition is likely something you're familiar with already. So, how do we make our content stand out? Well, with the rise of AI-generated videos, there's a lot of repetitive and dull content out there. And sure, you could play that game too and go down that path, churning out video after video, but let's face it, only a few AI channels truly succeed. Why? Because they lack emotion. They miss that human touch. And that's where you come in. By being yourself, you bring something no AI can replicate. And that is your unique perspective shaped by your own experiences. Now, while many people might have gone through similar situations to you, your personal spin on these experiences is what makes your content genuine and relatable at the same time. And guess what's a powerful tool to connect with your audience? Storytelling. It's an ancient art form that's been engaging audiences for generations, and the best part, it can significantly boost your growth on YouTube. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool, just use storytelling, bro. But it's not just about telling any story. It's about telling your story effectively. So stick around because I'm about to dive deep into a full step-by-step autistic level breakdown of exceptional YouTube storytelling. That way, your channel won't just be another unknown channel lost in the crowd, but the one that stands out. But before we dive into the secrets of storytelling, you might be wondering who I am and why you should spend the next few hours with me. Well, if you've enrolled in this workshop, chances are you've seen some of my work on YouTube. But here's a bit more about my journey. I've been in the YouTube game for years, long enough to have seen the ups and downs of the platform. I've started multiple channels, so many in fact, that I've lost count. Now, most of these attempts didn't take off. I kept at it, learning from every failure. And you know that feeling when you're trying to cook a new dish, but it just doesn't taste right? Well, that was me trying to figure out YouTube. No matter what I tried, something was always missing. But then, everything changed, because I discovered the secret ingredient that had been missing all along: storytelling. And this was like finally learning to add a pinch of a secret spice to a recipe. Suddenly, my videos had flavor, and they gained traction like never before, engaging viewers and leaving them wanting more. And all it took was one breakthrough video to change my entire life. Now, by this point, I was already a part-time YouTube scriptwriter, so I was no stranger to the tricks of the trade. But realizing the power of storytelling, I decided it was time to give it a shot. I started a new channel dedicated solely to teaching YouTube scriptwriting and uploaded my first video. But the first video I uploaded to this new channel wasn't just any video. It was the rocket that launched my career into orbit, because thanks to this one video, I was able to turn my part-time passion into a full-time gig as a YouTube scriptwriter. So I packed up my life, said goodbye to my old routine, and moved to Thailand to live the digital nomad life. And this is me just arriving into my hotel, doing the YouTuber soy face, as is tradition at this point. But this single skill didn't just transform my life, it's been a game changer for my clients too. For example, with the power of storytelling, I've helped information-based channels just like yours rack up hundreds of thousands of views. We got this video right here, 223,000 views. This one reached 173,000 views. This video here reached over 145,000 views, and the list goes on. But let me tell you, in the world of YouTube, especially for informational content, that's like hitting a mini jackpot, because 100,000 views could bring in thousands of subscribers to your email list, not to mention the revenue from your products and services. We're talking thousands of dollars, potentially more, all from understanding and applying the art of storytelling. All right, so let's dive into what's on the menu for today's workshop. We're going to explore two main methods of storytelling on YouTube, each with its own flavor and strategy. And think of these methods as your YouTube toolkit. You can pick the tool that best fits the job, or even better, you can use them in combination for the best results. First up is what I like to call the hard way. Now, this isn't because it's difficult to understand, but because it demands more creativity, time, and sweat. It's kind of like if you're in a football match and you're deciding on the next play. Now, most times, it's easier and safer to pass the ball around, side to side, playing it safe and never losing the ball. It's boring, but it works. But then there's the big play. It can be the epic dribble or long shot, and it's risky. It doesn't always pull off, but when it does, it's spectacular. You hit that screamer from outside the box and it flies past the goalkeeper into the net, winning the match and leaving the crowd singing with joy. That's your one viral video that can skyrocket your channel, which I like to call your hero content. These are your high production value, deep narrative style videos where you pull off an epic challenge. And usually the video is just one big story, and it's not uncommon for these projects to take a month or more to develop. The effort is high, but so is the potential payoff. And it's the kind of content that can get you not just views, but engaged, loyal followers, because your videos are just so good. But on the flip side, we have the easy way. And don't get fooled by the name. It's not about cutting corners and being cheap. It's about efficiency and consistency. And this method is perfect for those of you aiming to post videos on a weekly or even 2 to 3 times per week schedule. Because instead of one massive story, think of your video as a combination of mini stories where each mini story illustrates a point or shares a quick insight. This is your bread and butter content that keeps your channel active without the immense pressure of producing a magnum opus every time you hit record. So which method should you choose? The easy way or the hard way? Well, I recommend using a mix. 80% of your videos can follow the easier, systematic approach to maintain a steady output, while the other 20% can be dedicated to creating those hero pieces that have the potential to go viral and blow up your channel. And we'll go through my personal step-by-step framework for both approaches. I'll break down the nuts and bolts of constructing your stories from the drawing board to the final edit. And lastly, I'll give you a peek into how I use tools like ChatGPT to streamline the storytelling process.